Hey everybody, Jason Lexell here, and today what I want to talk to you about is, well, it's a challenge that I hear brought up repeatedly. So it has to do with the fact that Google, in some categories, is getting pretty full. Here's what I mean. We started off with Google search results, right? And if you were one of the early ones to get in on it, you did some things to your web page, and all of a sudden, you had traffic, you had phone calls, hallelujah, business is good. And Google decided to put ads in the top, all right? So your content got pushed further down. We got a couple of ads. Then Google came out with GMB, Google My Business, and now there's a map here, and businesses here, and I'm sorry, this marker's not working so great, but let me see what I can do here. And then you got organic listings down here. Now, somewhere in the midst of all that came the iPhone or the Droid, whichever. Now you're looking at it on a teeny little screen, okay? Maybe there's 1, 2, 3 businesses showing up when somebody performs a search on their phone. Now, there are different industries for which that is not enough space. There are not enough seats up here above the fold for the people who want to be there. So what happens? Well, you have people optimizing. The people who are paying to have their ads here start paying more. Google was smart. It set up its system like an auction. And it doesn't just go based on who's spending the most, but who is likely to convert the best. So there's some quality elements there too. But when you have 100 people going for 3 spots, you have like an arms race. All of a sudden, the bids start going up, everybody starts spending more, and maybe there aren't that many searches. Maybe in a day there's 50 searches in your market. And you're trying to share it now with 3 other guys, all spending, actually more like 10 or 20 other guys who are actually spending. There may be 100 people who want to show up. So it becomes frustrating. And then Google comes out and will introduce something like Google Guaranteed. Now here's another batch of ads showing up, pushing your stuff further down the fold, and now these guys are paying $10 per phone call, and some of these calls may be calls you don't even want, but you're having to spend. But it's not just how much you're spending. Google's taking into account how much you're willing to spend on a per day basis. So one guy may say 100. The next guy may say 200, and the next guy may say 500 per day that they're willing to spend. This may have no connection to the amount of inventory that Google has available to sell, but again, it becomes this crazy arms race to where I've heard about people spending $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, and saying, I'm really disappointed. Really disappointed. Not only am I not getting the type of customers I would expect, it's not giving me the ROI that I want. And coming from the marketing mindset and having seen where people can go and do something like this and see results, and then over time in some more saturated markets seeing the results dwindle, I wanted to be able to give them an answer. And frankly, in some cases, the answer is not to play this game. If you're spending $2,000, $3,000 a month, setting up a booth and handing out pizzas to people may be a better strategy, along with a coupon for your business. Building customers, giving things away. You have to realize this marketing budget that you're spending can be used in a variety of ways, and sometimes outreach, sometimes it's networking groups, sometimes it's trade shows. The problem is, whenever you reach a market where there's something that it might be, I don't want to call it easy to do, because this is not easy to do well, but where you have several people hopping in and loading on, it sinks the raft. It makes it no longer effective. It becomes saturated. And you wind up competing with people who a lot of times have much deeper pockets than you, and their strategy of buying billboards, saturating Google, doing cable ads are just things that you can't compete with. So you have to find strategies to get out there, spread the word, get your name out there in front of people. Giving a referral reward to existing customers, okay? Making an offer that you can advertise in a local paper to do a free evaluation. Creating a postcard campaign that can go out with a super great offer. But take a minute and think, what has brought me customers outside of this, and what type of steps can I take that would actually amplify that or facilitate it more? Because a lot of times we get customers from things by accident. I noticed that a large portion of customers I still have today come from when I've done a speaking event, right? I was invited. I didn't seek it. I was invited to many of these speaking events. I went up there, delivered my PowerPoint presentation, and whether it was right after I got off stage or whether it was a couple of days later back in my office via email, I got a request to speak further, turned into business, and many of those clients I still have today. Great. Well, in that particular case, one might say, why not do more speaking? Or what if you put some of this content on video and put it out there on the internet to be able to help amplify that message? See, Google and Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube, these in their own right are not really marketing platforms, but they can take a marketing message and help you amplify it. It helps you to reach people that you couldn't reach before. So think outside the box. But throwing money, if it's not performing for you, or going into markets or platforms that are heavily, heavily saturated, if you don't have the amount of budget it's going to take to really put a dent in it and the time, it can be frustrating. And then people do something that I see repeatedly, and that is say, well, marketing doesn't work. Marketing doesn't work for my business. That's seldom ever true. It's typically, I haven't found a strategy that's going to pay off for me yet. And this isn't an area that I like customer speaking, of course, but they might not be particularly interested in figuring some of these things out. Unfortunately, I hate to break this to a lot of you who don't like marketing, who aren't interested, but as a business owner, the ability to create new customers is something that is critical to at least understand on some level and to be involved in and to become educated about. Because knowing your industry or knowing how to do the repairs is something that you can hire people to do for your business. But the strategy behind it that you use to acquire new customers, that's something that is very, very critical to understand as a business owner. It's something you're responsible for. And I've seen companies where their product is not as good, but their marketing is excellent, and they have choices. They have customers coming in. They have customers paying the bills. They can make mistakes and they can recover. So, the lesson of today's video is look at your market. Look at where you're putting your marketing dollars. Is it saturated? Are you getting results from it? And if not, take a step back, look at what you're spending, and start thinking of some creative ways to help facilitate ways that you've gotten, to help facilitate getting customers in ways that you've experienced in the past that have been profitable. Maybe just sitting and thinking about it for a little bit, you'll realize that you do have a lot of customers coming from a certain place, and advertising more in that place or doing an event in that place could do wonders. My name is Jason Lexell. I help companies to grow using effective marketing strategies. Thank you.